Hello everybody, welcome back to some more Feed the Beast Beyond. It is episode 3 and we are going to be staying mostly in the village today because we have some starting machinery hopefully getting done today. So I wanted to get a few things done, you know, in the house sort of thing so that we can make sure that everything's sorted. So obviously in between episodes I made these. Right now they're kind of just, you know, in there, not really too clean. These guys are now basically out of commission for the moment, and I'm also going to move this because I might move that. Actually, no, I think what might work is we'll put that one there and then put that torch there. I think that looks better. And then I'm going to throw these guys up with here for the moment because I want to use this space that we have here as our sort of machinery area to start with once this guy gets out of our face. So a few things I wanted to make. First is a, I can't remember what it's called. It should be grindstone. There it is, Quartz Grindstone, which is an applied energistics thing, and we're going to use this for just a moment, and it's basically a way of us being able to make some doubling of ores, pretty much. So we're going to need some coal and some cobble, and I'm going to make this into tiny coal because we only need 3 stone for this to work. So 1, 2, 3. Let's put that in. 1, 2, 3. There we go. Just so we're not wasting our materials. And I need to get these switched on my. There we go. We'll keep this in for the moment. Get some of that. We need some sticks, which I think we only need 4 sticks. Am I correct? Yep. For that. So let's just put this 1, 2, 3, 4. Boom. And that is all we need. We are going to need a crank in a minute, which means I think we're going to have to go get some more wood very, very soon. But I think for the moment we should... 5 is enough. There's a wooden crank. And we are going to get this sorted. So I just need the 3... wherever it is. Here it is. I thought I put in the top one. Apparently not. I also need to fix that whole thing. We are going to go here. We should be able to do that. Quartz grindstone. And we can now place that there. Put the crank on the top of it, if I don't move it in my inventory. And now we also need some food. Where did I put my food? Did I move it? Or did I eat it all? Nope, there's my cooked mutton. Apparently I put it in there. Right, so this now will allow us to duplicate ores, or not duplicate, double ores is the proper way of saying that, and we are going to test it, but first we need to make something else, and we're going to be making a generator. And now I said I was going to do solar, but then I realized the whole point, if I mentioned it at the end of last episode, is I want to make a furnace, a redstone furnace with a trivection chamber augment in it, which will double like output of food or whatever. Like if you put in 1 uncooked thing, it will give you 2 cooked things. So if we're going to make that, we need power. We're going to need power, obviously. So what I want to do is make a furnace generator. And then we're going to upgrade that because obviously this makes double the food. So we're going to make a culinary generator, which is going to use food in order to power. So we're basically going to have a nice cycle. It's not going to be like a perfect cycle yet, at least. But for now, we're going to be using food to power our way of making food to power back and also feed us. So I think it'll work. I'm also going to put this quartz back. But what we're going to need first is a furnace generator from Extra Utilities 2. There we go. And if we press U on it, you'll see that we can turn it into a culinary generator with some something cooked and 5 uncooked or raw materials, I guess you could say, and 2 redstone. So we're going to need the furnace generator, which means we need iron, redstone, a furnace, which is easy. We can just make that out of the cobble, and a chest, more iron. So we are going to need... what is that? 4 plus however many? 9 iron. So what we're going to do is just get, well, I guess 1, 2, 3 of that. And we are going to try and see if this works. We should be able to crank this around and it should eventually make us some pulverized iron. Now it should, in most cases, double it, but in that case it didn't. Maybe they have turned off. I hope not, because it would really, really suck. Maybe I'm just being super unlucky. I hope so, considering I made this thing. No, see, we just got 4 from that, which kind of sucks because I wanted at least 5, so we need 1 more minimum. So that's either going to give us 2 or it's going to give us 1. But yeah, it looks like we're just super unlucky for the first bit. It's not guaranteed, but for now it doesn't require any power, so it's good. If we go, I don't think we can go to recipes, no. But wait, can we do it in here? Quartz Grindstone, here we are. It has a 100% chance of doing that one, and a 75% chance of doing the second pulverized one, and 0% chance of doing a third one at all. But we only have 6 now, which means that I think I have 5 tiny coal left, which is good, because we can now use the remainder of that tiny coal and use the pulverized iron and get the remaining iron that we need. Now, we are going to have this 1 left over, but we'll hold on to that for this moment, and we will use it, I guess, in the future. We'll prioritize using that over using anything else. So what else do we need? A furnace. So I'm not going to use those 2 furnaces since we have cobble up here. I also had it in my inventory, so I don't even know I did that. Right, let's make a furnace and get the achievement for it, because apparently we never did that. Oh, because we never made one, so that would actually make sense. Then we need redstone, which we've got, and we're going to need machine block, which means more redstone, and a chest, or a trapped chest. I think it doesn't matter. That might be an issue, because I don't... Okay, we have what looks like a chest free, so we can deal with that. There we go. Now we've got to acquire hardware, because obviously we never did that before. We're going to need those, and then we are going to do that, and that is a furnace generator done and sorted. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to try and make a culinary generator, which should cooked mutton works, and then we're going to have to go pick up some wheat, carrots, or any other thing. I think wheat is more likely for us to have a lot more of. I'm also going to pick up a spare one just because I want to test out this as soon as possible, maybe. But yeah, so well, actually, that's going to not even matter too much because we are not at the point of making bread with wheat and stuff yet. But Culinary Generator is now done. I am going to, I think, put it here for the moment, because then if I make a redstone furnace, it can go here, and if I make anything else, like if I make like a pulverizer, it can go here for the moment until I move each thing away. So that's that sorted and done. Now we need to get onto a redstone, if I could spell, furnace. There we go. What are we going to need? We're going to need quite a few items for this. So I'm going to gather everything together, mainly just the machine frame stuff. I'll, gather everything together and we can get straight on to making this. I'm also just going to probably just get the bricks from this building over here. So I'll see you in a second once I've got everything. And that is our final component. There should be our final component, unless I am really misunderstanding part of this whole build. But we're going to make the tin gear. We're then going to have the parts around it. I think this is the correct way. Nope, I mixed them up, even though I literally just looked at it. There's our machine frame. Then we're going to make the redstone reception coil, and then the 2 copper gears. And that should be everything there for a redstone furnace basic. So we're going to put that there. We are going to, I guess, sort everything out for the moment. We're going to auto input and auto output. And as you can see, it's got no power, but it's also got no augment abilities. And so, if you've ever played thermal expansion before, or played with thermal expansion before, you know it goes like basic, hardened, something else, and then resonant. In this case, we have to go and do something different. This is an update, apparently, that happened. So we need an upgrade kit. And as you can see, here is reinforced, that was it. And then signalum, and then resonant. So we are going to have to make a hardened upgrade kit so that we can upgrade this and have a 1 augment slot in this thing's place, so we can add the trivection chamber, augment, and double our food out of this. So hardened upgrade kit, we're going to need some invar, some bronze gears, and some redstone. So bronze is it should be somewhat easy. Let's just quickly have a look at bronze. Bronze ingot, I guess. So bronze ingots should be a case of, that's induction smelter. We are going to have to go let's see if we can find bronze blend, which should be some copper powder and some tin dust, or copper dust and tin dust. So what we're going to quickly do then is we'll pick up 1 tin and I guess 1 copper and hope that works out for us, or 2 copper actually, just in case we have it mess up. And we're going to have to put these through, hope we get 3 in total, or, you know, we could potentially get 4. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take out this... No, okay. Now, we're probably going to end up with 4, knowing how this works, but we are going to have to make this, which is... this is the slowest thing. I think this is our bottleneck, if we were to give ourselves a bottleneck. It's this, you know, grindstone, because it doesn't always give us what we want, and also sometimes just sort of doesn't... I guess what we could do actually now is... Do I have any bread or something? I have these. I swear I had some bread, unless that's in the backpack. There it is. And some apples. Good. We can put these... Actually, no, I'm going to hold on to the bread for the moment. These are going to make some RF. This generates 9,600 RF at 32 RF per tick. And we got 3 of those, so this is going to be getting some power. So we can go and use this as a furnace now, which is good. So what we can actually do when the Trivection chamber is in here, we can obviously double like this. This will become 42 and this will become 36. And then we can filter those back in and it should carry on making power. And it has 100 RF, but as a total, you know, internal thing. So even if this gets to, what's that, 20,000, this will have 100,000 extra to just hold on to. So that's now made. What were we actually making? We were making Hardened Upgrade Kit. So bronze gear, that's going to be fine. We just need to make some iron. And then we are going to make some Invar, which is a bit more difficult because we need to make an Invar blend, which is 2 pulverized iron and a nickel grit, or pulverized nickel. Now, luckily, we have some nickel here, and maybe if we're lucky, we might get some... oh, need to get that out. Maybe if we're lucky, we will get some platinum out of this, but we are going to have to do that, and I guess we'll hope that we get 2 out of that for the moment. And if we get... No, actually, I'm going to put 1 extra in anyway, because I need to get an extra iron for the gear, so we might as well get that while we're here now. And then also, what else do we need? Redstone. Okay, pretty simple. And then that'll give this an augment slot, and then we can try and get this Trivection chamber and see if we can get everything working in our favor. Right, so this is then going to be like that. Some Invar blend. Then we're going to put the pulverized iron in first. And the Invar blend, which we need... Oh, do we need 4 of as well? So I'm actually going to have to do that again. Actually, I'm fine with the nickel. I just need... I need to do that again and hope it doesn't give me 1. Because if it gives me 1, it annoys me because I just used the other one that could have been used as the second. Even though I need... no, perfect. Perfect, perfect. So we're going to have a bit of Invar left over, but no matter there, or no worries or anything. So let's make the gear, and this should be perfectly fine. And we should just be able to right click on here and upgrade it. So this can actually now hold 30,000 RF, which is pretty nice. We haven't got any food to put through here yet, because now we have an augmentation thing. I want to get the Trivection chamber augment. So I'm going to quickly look into how to get the silver plates, because there's only 3 types of silver plates, and it's a bit more difficult to find out how to do them. Hopefully we don't have to go to making a casting table or anything, because that might take a bit of time. Maybe there's a good other solution. So I'm going to quickly look into all this and see you straight after. Okay, so I did a bit of research into how we can get these silver plates, and there's one of 2 ways that I can see us getting it done. The first is by making a Tinker's Smeltery, which admittedly is going to take a bit of time at this point, especially because there is hardly any sand, clay, or gravel near us. We're pretty, you know, out in the open. There is a river over there, but I don't think it's going to have much gravel or clay, to be perfectly honest. It has a bit of sand, but whatever. But the way I want to do it then is by making a compactor, which is a thermal expansion machine, which we saw. You can see here, should be able to make a silver plate, and we only need 2 of them, and it's just 1 silver plate. It may take a little bit of time. Energy 4,000 RF. But it's definitely worth it. We can just place it on top of this thing, because I realize we are going to have to make something that goes here, and then we'll clean it all up in the future. For now, it's just basic machinery. So we should have everything in our inventory. Just need to make a machine frame. Let's make that. We're going to make a piston. There we go. And the redstone reception coil. And I think we should then have everything to make the compactor. Good. I'm going to then get rid of all these. And we need to press. There we go. And as you can see, I'm getting quite a lot of power, and this has a lot of power because I added 2 bits of raw beef, or I cooked some raw beef and got some steak, and apparently steak does 51,200, I think it is, RF per tick, or RF in total. So 2 of them will put that up to capacity, which is pretty nice. So we want to pick up some silver. We're going to take the silver, put it in here, and I guess we're going to hope that the first one does 2, and that will hopefully be enough. Please hope it does. I realize I should have put it on top of the Culinary Generator instead of next to it like that, because we are going to have to put something here, as I said, but we need to get back to the Trivection thing. So, silver plate, copper gear, redstone conductance coil, which is going to be electrum. We'll get to that in a minute as well. And then bricks, which will go pick up a brick from the thing, and obviously on top of that, as we said, some redstone. So that's going to take a little bit of time. Let's go quickly pick up a brick from this place. So this will be 3 bricks we've now taken from this place. I'm trying to take them from places that aren't so obvious. I'm going to take it from here, even though it's part of the floor. But we can turn that into a double doorway then, if we just replace it with some slabs. So I think it all works out in the end. Let's get back here, though. What else are we going to need? A copper gear. So we're going to have to put some copper into here. And anything else? Conductance coil. Okay, well, as I said, we'll get to that one in just a little bit. I think we're going to need some nickel and gold, I think it is, for that. I know it's definitely gold. I'm not 100% sure on the nickel, though. So hopefully this gives us 4. It does. Let's get to that, though. Electrum ingot, electrum blend, gold, and silver. Okay, that's makes my life a lot easier. I thought it was easier than the nickel. So we're going to do that, and then we should have silver on us. So we're going to throw 1 in there, and then 1 of these in there. Just do that. I did have a spare gold dust, but unfortunately I had to use it to make the reception coil for the compressor. So a bit annoying there. Hopefully we don't have many zombies coming in. We need to light this place up as well. We might do that in the future. Or we will do that in the future, definitely. It needs to get done. I think I'm going to do it twice, though, because electrum is quite a useful thing that we are going to have to use in the future. So for now we only need 1, but we might as well have some ready. So there we go. We're going to need the ones of those. And then what else is it? We need the conductance coil, which... We did make a conductance coil. So copper gear is what we're missing. So there we go. Anything else? Nope. So we should now be able to add that to this. Successfully installed, and what we can do now is start putting these in, and so 1 beef should make 2 steak. So food is going to be a good thing here. Now, there is one more machine we need to build, and that is so that we can get the, the great thing of having basically 1 wheat turn into 4 toast, because right now bread is only 24,000, and while that is a lot, if we can double that to toast, it will be nice. So, what we need to, in order to do that, is a Sag Mill, because if we go into Sag Mill, we should be able to see... Actually, it might be easier just to go to wheat or bread. If we go to bread, you can see they can either be made with 3 wheat, or we can use some barley flour or wheat flour. And to make, for example, wheat flour or flour normally, we can either use the Quartz Grindstone, which will make 1-to-1, or we can use the Sag Mill, which is a 1-to-2 plus a seed, so we can actually get a lot more seeds as well. So, Sag Mill is where we're at with this. 800 RF, not that much, especially considering we're going to be generating more than that from this. So, I'm going to put 2 more of these in, just for now, and smelt these, and I'm going to get everything together, I guess, for the Sag Mill, which it should be fairly cheap. Some flint, some iron, a piston, and a machine chassis with a basic capacitor, so pretty damn cheap. I'll just get everything together, and we can get that done, and that'll be probably the end of the episode. Okay, that should be the final component there. Just had to go a little far out that way to find some gravel, but we should now start being able to do this. Oh, we do need to quickly make this gold nugget, or gold ingot into gold nuggets, but that actually should then be everything. So let's make some iron bars. Only one set though, because otherwise we're going to use all the rest of our iron. Make the machine chassis, and then we need the piston and Sag Mill. There we go. So I'm going to place that on top of here. This should be fine. And it's getting some power, which is good. So now what I'm going to have to do is, well, first off, I'm going to add this augment back, because when that is in, if you did not see, it means that we are only able to use, or while that is in the redstone furnace, it means that that redstone furnace can only be used for making food, so we couldn't do any ingots or anything like that. So I had to take it out for a small amount of time, just so we could actually get the resources to actually make the Sag Mill. But we're going to mainly keep it in there, unless we're just doing duplication, not duplication. I keep calling it duplication, it's just doubling. But on top of that, I think I will probably end up just making my own, like, a secondary redstone furnace, one for food and one for ores, or probably in the end more than one for ores, because, you know, oh, nearly ruined those crops. Because in the end we are probably going to be making or using, you know, a furnace more than it is fast enough to actually, you know, process. So we are probably going to have to get some more of those in the future. We're not at any power capacity right now to power multiple of them, so we don't even have conduits. We're just currently working off the same block. So what I'm going to do is, that should be fine. Oh, what's this? A verdant sprig. Okay, that's from roots. So what we can do now is we can put the wheat in here, and it should fairly quickly turn into some flour. And then when that's done, I'm probably just gonna, let's put some, are these both the same? 5-1, yep. Let's put some of those in. Just give this some power. And this, again, does have a chance of giving this a 20% chance, whereas this has a 100% chance of giving 2. But as you can see from the bottom, it says it has a 20% chance of giving us some seeds. It's not too needed, because obviously we're going to get seeds from the actual getting of the wheat. But this should turn into double, basically, what we had there. So I'll wait until all this is done, we can see how it goes, and I'll see you in a second. Right then, so we have a stack and 56 of these, which is going to be added onto the 5 bread. So now we can come in here, this augment is in, so we can put this in, and this should make 2 bread each time. It's going to go fairly slow, because it's only got this one augment in, and obviously it doesn't have any speed augments. The one good thing, though, assuming I'm correct, or the information that I got about this augment is correct, this should be using half the RF per tick than in comparison if it was not using this and doing being able to do ores at the same time. So we are actually saving a bit of RF, which is nice. So we're doubling our food, but halving our usage. So I think that's pretty great. So I'm going to put those in there for the moment, just so it's going to go up. And I also found, if we look up toast, obviously these guys do 51200 at 64 RF per tick. If we go to toast, which is this one, we can come in here, go into the Culinary Generator, and you can see it's 65601 RF per tick, or RF in total, 58.55 seconds to complete each one, and that is at 56 RF per tick, which I think, is that the same? No, that's 64. So it's slightly lower RF per tick, but more overall generated and easier for us to make, obviously, because you know, we were at like, what, 42 or something like that, cooked pork chops, and we're at 30 steak, and look how much bread we're already making. So, yeah, this is going to be definitely a good way of doing this. I'm obviously going to make sure all those are replanted, and I don't know if the watering can is in this. Is it? I don't know if that's... it is. It's just different texture, but we do have watering can, which we will see about making. It looks like you need stone, granite, or polished of any type. But yeah, that'll be pretty useful to use, and that'll hopefully speed up the process. And if we get bone meal, we can also do that. Do you not actually need bone meal? I swear you need bone meal, or you used to need bone meal for that. So maybe they've changed the recipe. In which case that would be super, super nice. So, once again, I don't like skipping too much ahead, but considering we're just sat here waiting for this flour to go ahead, I will skip until we have all this being turned into toast, which is going to take an exceptionally long time, but it's worth it. Right then, here we are. That is all of our toast now done. That is, what, 7 stacks and 42. So we can start probably putting this stack in there, and that's going to make, you know, a ton of RF. And just like, you know, a few of these, maybe like 16 is probably more than what we use this entire, you know, making of all this toast and stuff. So it's actually going to be a really great thing. Plus also it gives us, what is it, 3.5 plus a ton of like the, like, I don't even know what these are, but they're like a cover around the normal things. I don't know. If you do know what those are, please post them in the comments below, because that's interesting to me. But it's nighttime. I think I might do some lighting up around the place, so I might do that in between. Oh, there's an enderman. I might do that in between, or I might set up some sort of barrier around the entire village, because I think all but this guy is pretty much dead at this point, because I think they've gone and got themselves killed. And this guy can't get out, so except for baby zombies maybe getting to him, we're okay in that regard. But I think for a majority of them, they're dead, which kind of sucks, but I kind of expected it, because I was just kind of waiting for that. But yeah, I might do that, and I might do some other things, and we got to work out what we're doing next episode, which maybe we'll do some tinker stuff, maybe we'll try and upgrade our gear. I want to see, well, now that we've got a sag mill, that should work in the same as being a pulverizer. So we can get rid of the quartz grindstone, and we can start. Oh, we could. Damn it. We can start doubling our ores a bit better now, assuming that this works how I expect it to. Shall we look? Iron ore, for example. Yeah, okay, so we get 2 out of that. We also have a 5% chance of pulverized tin, a 10% chance of pulverized nickel, and a 15% chance of some cobblestone. If we put some dark steel balls or a piece of flint in here, it will increase the output, bonus output, and power reduction percentages. So either way, though, I'm going to take all these, I'm going to get them all sorted out. But for now, that's going to be it for this episode. Thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye-bye.